bizarre collection of masks up here now. Good evening, members of the Board of Education, both returning and starting their service. My name is Bobby Noel Peterson. I reside at 10 Knox Boulevard and currently serve the city as Chief of Staff to the Mayor. First and foremost, I echo the comments you've heard tonight, offering thanks for your willingness to serve. You've not come aboard on an easy time in our community or in our country. Special thanks to Chairwoman Kane, who in the last few weeks has dedicated nearly full-time service to being your chair. It doesn't go unnoticed. I'd like to also offer my thanks to union leadership who has brought forth and held space for the experiences of our city employees. They do not represent nameless, faceless stories, but the stories of current city employees who we share community with. They've come together to advocate for their members who work at our schools as teachers, paras, custodians, CAP workers, secretaries, and managers. I've seen the toll that this advocacy is taking on them and also want them to know that it does not go unseen or unappreciated. As you've seen this evening, our community is divided. I worry about the long-term wounds that will be caused by that divide. Everyone who is here tonight is here because of a desire to fight for our community and its integrity. Multiple truths can and do exist. We can know that we need a fair and transparent investigation and still be troubled by the coded and racist language we've seen in the last month, and recognize the gruesome history of our country and its treatment of our BIPOC communities and the trauma around that history. We can ache for our friends and associates who are a party to this investigation and still recognize that these claims must be investigated and taken seriously, and that process must be transparent and fair. And for some, this triggers their own feelings of harassment, bullying, and assault. As the elected Board of Education, you are the only ones who can mitigate that harm that will be done to our community. You alone control the scope of this investigation, the final reporting on the findings, and the flow of information to our unions and community. I urge you to take measures to create an environment where employees and administrators feel safe, supported, and heard. I implore you to share information with our community so we can work to stem the tide of the divide that is building. The only way out of this is through this, and the best way through it is together.